Good afternoon and welcome. This is Sunshine Reports. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. Ondo State's Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa will flag off the dualization of our Idori Road on Wednesday, the 30th of April 2025, in fulfillment of his electioneering campaign promise. The special advisor to the governor on infrastructure, lands and housing, engineer Ayorinde Abiola Olawe, during a chat with journalists in Akure, informed that the realization will be in two phases, stated that the first phase, which is 10 km, will start from Kashu Junction in Arakale through Okiaru and will terminate at kilometer 10 on Akure Idori Road. According to the special advisor, the contract has been awarded to a reputable construction company with a track record of timely completion and technical prowess. He applauded the Aiyedatiwa-led administration for its foresight and acumen in the dualization of the road, as the traffic on the said road is getting beyond single lane. Engineer Olawe therefore implored the community leaders, residents of the area, and road users to support and cooperate with the contractor. The rise in arms begging and the visible presence of mentally unstable individuals have reached an alarming level in Akure, the capital of the state. The issue has become more prominent and concerning, raising safety, environmental, and public health challenges across the city. To tackle the growing concern, the Ministry of Women Affairs and the Ministry of Environment have pledged to collaborate and implement lasting solutions aimed at restoring order and enhancing public safety in Akure. Osrc's Abidemi Akinrote reports.
Akure is currently grappling with a pressing social issue, the increasing number of destitutes, including beggars and mentally unstable individuals. This situation poses not only a social and public safety concern, but also brings economic and environmental implications. A shop owner at Old Garage shared his frustrations, citing the impact of these individuals on the environment and their disruptive presence in the area.
As they did it like that, normally as a stand there, supposed to feel and say something they now so we they collect them every day by they kata everything. We don't get choice. And if we just as in address them, come out there, shift all those things. Go say them, come out there, come my front here, come line up.
A resident, Samuel Aleke, also raised concern over the nuisance and occasional harassment by beggars and mentally unstable persons in the neighborhood.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan tí mo jẹ́ bí leader àwọn ọlọ́kadà ló gáràjì bíi wàhálà àwọn tí máa ń pọ̀ ìgbà míì gan wọ́n máa ń pọ̀ sí hold up táwọn tó bá ń gbé májẹ́sì gan kọjá ń gbà mí wọ́n tẹ̀ ti dá wàhálà alẹ̀ níbí last month tó jẹ́ pé díẹ̀ ló kù kí mọ́tò pàkan nú wọn so gbogbo kíní yẹn ni mo believe bó yẹ kí ìjọba lè wá nǹkan ṣe sí kán tiẹ̀ kó wọn kúrò even though bọ́n ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn gan olè lè ṣàṣàárín wọn kidnapper lè ṣàṣàárín wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ kán máa fi bojú kán máa fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan ìlú dẹ̀ ti lé.
This concern was further reinforced by a disturbing incident during the filing of this report in which a beggar assaulted a cameraman on duty. To curb the menace, the Director, Social Welfare Services at the Ministry of Women Affairs, Adebayo Oyegunwa, highlighted some recent measures taken to reduce the number of destitutes in Akure.
Wọ́n dá wàhálà alẹ̀ ẹ wo orílẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìsìn báyìí nígbà tó jẹ́ pé èèyàn ń béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn kámẹ́rà wọn ó dẹ̀ dayọ̀ sójú ẹ̀.
You recollect within that period of October, November, we evacuated a lot of them. And by the time we did that, we later found out that they came back. And it's not as if the number of these vagrants are from Ondo State. You observe that we are within the circle, we are being circumvented or surrounded by some states like Ekiti. We have Edo, we have Osun, we have Lagos, and some other neighboring states. But at the time they evacuate their destitutes, they will bring them to Ondo State.
Oyegunwa also pointed to some of the root causes fueling the increase, stating that tackling these underlying issues is key to sustainably reducing the number of destitutes and enhancing public well-being.
Instead of rehabilitating them, but because of our professional concern, our zeal to work, we have decided to ensure that we rehabilitate those ones that were picked on the streets. But if you look at it, like you said, the number is growing in a geometrical form. It has been a major concern. We had management meeting on that, but we now feel that the best thing for us is that we will not relax. And I know that Mr. Governor will do that. It's a major issue, it's a regular that we have been doing. But there's no way we can totally eliminate them because it's one of the features of urbanization.
On his part, Administrative Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Olumide Kinga, emphasized the need for coordinated efforts among relevant agencies to clear areas where these individuals have settled and relocate them to safer, more humane environments.
We are collaborating with the Ondo State Waste Management Authority on how to make sure that that portion where they stay are properly taken care of. The collaboration with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, we have to do with the process of rehabilitating this group of people or relocating them to a safer area. If we have to borrow the idea from Lagos, we may want to interview them and try to see whether we can relocate them to their states of origin.
With sustained efforts to address the root causes of this menace, the state government and community organizations aim to reduce the prevalence of begging and improve the quality of life for all residents.
In the meantime, the Ondo State government has assured residents of a flood-free season as the rain set in. To this end, amphibian excavators have been deployed across the state to clear waterways and ensure the free flow of water. Monitoring the exercise in Accra, the Ondo State capital, Chairman of Accra South Local Government, Binga Fashua, said that all flashpoints in the area would be cleared to protect the state capital from natural disasters. Omoriola Ongbiji has the detail.
Annually, flooding has remained one of Nigeria's major natural disasters, and Ondo State is not exempted from this threat. In Accra, the state capital, years of flood incidents have not only led to loss of lives and property, but have also rendered many residents homeless, especially during the rainy season. Oduala in Akure Kingdom, Adesupa Axis, Danjuma, among other areas, are currently major priorities for the government as excavation work resumes. At Oduala in Ayedun, often referred to as a death zone, heavy equipment is now actively working to address the challenges.
And then this river is giving us a lot of problems. Last year, this river, it carried one of our children here, 22 years old. It carried both a dead body and then we didn't see till now. We didn't see the person. And then the deputy governor come here last year to come and sympathize with us here, and then with the family of the victim. Now we are begging them now. The problem that we have is this bridge. That we top of this bridge, we are telling them that they should break these two bridges because this bridge is too low.
We beg them at least to do the channel. If they can do it well, digging it well, extending it, it will be good cocoa. Everything will be going fine for the community.
Special Advisor to Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa on junior matters, Bola Taiwo, said the government initiated timely interventions even before the rains began, assuring residents of a flood-free season.
We have a timetable for this thing before the rain comes, and we have followed the timetable directly. We have been in Akure for quite 1 month or something working. We've been in Ondo working. We've been in Odibo. We've been in Laje. We've been in Neseudu. We've been in Dari working. We are in Leluji and Ondo now. We have to come back here because of the report submitted by the chairman of the local government to Mr. Governor that the rain is stopping some people in some areas in this area. That is why we decided to come back again. Chairman of Akure South local government, Binga Fashua, listed areas earlier attended to, including Ijoka, Iriakari Rita Obele Axis, and Futa.
What they do here before is a curative measure, but henceforth we want to be doing preventive. Now when it happens, they look at what we can do. But from the directive of Mr. Governor, we want to start preventive measure instead of coming up with a curative attention. This we are starting in Ala at behind Ayedun. We're going as far as going to Adesupa Hotel from this axis.
Elisha Ebijimi, the flood control expert, handling the project highlighted some challenges facing the waterways, particularly indiscriminate refuse dumping, stressing that it must be urgently addressed.
You can see that there's refuse in the water, and the invert of the bridge, it has dropped. We want to beg the people of Akure to stop dumping refuse inside the gutter and the drainage, so to stop flood.
As amphibian machines continue clearing waterways across the three senatorial districts simultaneously, it is expected that monitoring and control of refuse dumping into canals will prevent water spillovers this rainy season. Omoriola Humbeji, OSRC News.
Examination malpractice is becoming increasingly common in some schools and learning institutions. To address this growing concern and restore integrity to the education system, the West African Examination Council (WAEC) is rolling out a new initiative, a customized question paper model, where no two candidates receive the exact same set of questions. In this report, Blessing Obey takes a closer look at the prevalence of exam malpractice and how the council is working to combat it.
In a country where education is regarded as a cornerstone of progress, the credibility of examinations remains a critical pillar of academic integrity. Yet for decades, Nigeria's education system has grappled with a persistent challenge: examination malpractice. In a bid to tackle this issue, the West African Examinations Council has introduced a customized question paper model for selected subjects in the 2024-2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination. According to WAEC, this innovation is part of a broader strategy to curb malpractice across the sub-region. In 2024 alone, over 200,000 WAEC results were withheld in Nigeria due to suspected examination malpractice. Similarly, in Ghana, WAEC withheld results from candidates in 235 schools over irregularities during the 2023 examinations. To counter this trend, WAEC is now personalizing question papers for key subjects including English language papers 1 and 3, mathematics, biology, and economics. Under this new model, each candidate receives a unique set of questions directly linked to their personalized optical mark recognition (OMR) sheet. Reacting to the development, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers in Ondo State, Samuel Ayodele, described the move as timely and necessary for preserving the integrity of public examinations.
This initiative by WAEC, as they want to customize some question papers like English language, biology, mathematics, and economics, the core subjects. I think it should curb examination malpractices. If the government and the WAEC official, if they can strictly monitored the program, I think the program will curb examination malpractices in our environment.
The state chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools in Ondo State, along with other education stakeholders, also endorsed the initiative, expressing optimism that it will produce meaningful long-term results.
The teachers will put in more effort. We have been teaching the students, so we'll be encouraged to put in more effort. The students too should be patient enough to study. Ask from the teachers what they don't understand. Then the parents too, who also, because we have some very bad parents who go about to take their children to miracle centers in quote, for them to be able to pass examination cheaply. It is not the best. If you help a student today, the bad student you produce today, who gets qualified through a very poor and bad means, will become somebody who will also ruin the economy and the society itself. They cannot be useful to their parents. So I 100% subscribe to it.
When I heard the news, I was highly, happy because I know that this mechanism they just introduced is going to redeem the image of the education in Nigeria, especially among these young ones that are in secondary school. because I know some of them now, because of these Yahoo things now and the likes, all the social media and stuff, so they don't want to go to lesson again, and they are not even ready to even study and pass by themselves.
If it works, everybody will be happy. But I think the level of customizing the thing, especially on some specific subjects, I don't know why. I don't know how they arrived at that conclusions, But if it's going to work, they must put a Nigerian factor away from.
Beyond curbing cheating during exams, the initiative targets deeper-rooted issues such as collusion, impersonation, and question leaks, long-standing threats to the credibility of WAEC's examination process. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
A professor of public and administrative management, Ladipo Adamoleko, has reiterated the need for a devolved federation in Nigeria. He spoke during the media presentation of his latest book, Reflections on Governance and Development in Nigeria, held in Akure, Ondo State. The event attracted journalists, scholars, and diplomats from across various sectors. Blessing Obi again reports.
Professor Ladipo Adamolekun's latest work, Reflections on Governance and Development in Nigeria, takes a deep dive into the country's political journey, strongly advocating for the restructuring of Nigeria into a truly devolved federation. His 37th book spans 239 pages, divided into two sections. Part A features selected unpublished papers, while Part B compiles selected newspaper essays. The book critically explores the twin themes of governance and development, with a particular focus on Nigerians' experiences in the 2000s. Calls for a more devolved system of governance dominated conversations at the launch event.
They have actually been the ones that have sensitized Nigeria and the rest of the continent to the disastrous policies and practices of bad governance, but they've always been oppressed without consequences by both military and civilian leaders.
Intellectuals, media practitioners, political figures, and members of the diplomatic corps gathered to engage with the issues raised in the book. In his remarks, Professor Adamolekun described devolve or die as his political credo, underscoring the urgency of redistributing functions and resources between the federal and subnational governments.
Only devolution can unleash the forces of consolidating democracy and achieving accelerated socio-economic progress in Nigeria. The alternative to devolution will likely be the death of the federation. I would recommend a 35 to 65% share for the central and subnational governments, respectively, with respect to both powers and resources. Of course, the proposed percentages of sharing would be subject to debate. However, to ensure a peaceful and well-performing Nigerian federal system, the share of subnational governments must be significantly higher than that of the central government with respect to both powers and resources.
The event featured robust intellectual discourse, with participants emphasizing the need for transformative governance reforms in Nigeria.
It's not happening wholesale, but it's happening bit by bit. We're seeing devolution of powers in certain areas today. We're going to see more. We're going to see things like rail lines now moving from the exclusive to the concurrent list. We're going to see things like the ease of doing business and the things required to improve the ease of doing business, devolving to states.
When we just do hit and miss and pick this, pick that, without a cohesive plan, it doesn't all go well for us as a country. So we need to be deliberate in our planning, in our execution, and in our responsibility as citizens. So Nigeria will be better if all of us have that understanding that the ultimate goal of each citizen is to see Nigeria prosper, Nigeria progress, and Nigeria take its place amongst the Committee of Nations.
Consensus among the discussants was clear. Restructuring into a devolved federation is not just necessary, it is critical to transforming Nigeria into a high-performing state. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
In sport, a new chapter is unfolding at the Ondo State Sports Complex in Akure, where the state government is undertaking a major upgrade of its sporting facilities. At the heart of this transformation is the installation of a natural grass turf, a move aimed at restoring the complex to international standards, enhancing athletic performance and boosting sport development across the state. Our sports correspondent Benga Uluwajano has more.
The Ondo State Sports Complex in Akure, a venue steeped in sporting history, is undergoing a much-needed facelift, and the centerpiece of this revitalization is a brand-new natural grass pitch. Years of wear and neglect has left the pitch in disrepair, but today, a full-scale upgrade spearheaded by the state government is breathing new life into the facility, starting with the installation of a large professional-grade turf. According to state officials, this development is a vital step towards improving the quality of play and repositioning the complex as a hub for both local and national competitions.
Now, our local Governor Ulinisa Ayedatiwa, is a lover of sport due to the passion he has for the sport. He had to do the renovation of this thing and approve the money for the contractor. That's why you see the stadium a new look now. That even the field they lay now is one of the best.
The renovation of the sports stadium in its entirety will definitely bring about the development of sports in Ondo State. As you can see, the main ball is under renovation. We look forward to seeing the track as well and the field to enable the development of athletics. In Ondo State, you will see that we are one of the leading states in athletics in Nigeria. And also an extension of the renovation to the indoor sports hall and to some other gyms, the volleyball courts, the handball courts will also help in the development of sports in Ondo State. We look forward to seeing more of this work coming up.
So that they'll be seeing their darling teams to watch. Even people around will feel people like the strangers. When there's team like Ranger, team like Insurance, Warri Wolf, anybody comes to play, people will be happy seeing them. It's going to benefit us very well.
The new surface is built to meet global standards, durable, safe and suitable for both football and athletics. Reactions from the sporting community have been overwhelmingly positive. Coaches, players and fans alike see the move as a long overdue investment in the future of sport in Ondo State.
Thank God that God is using him to improve stadium management. You know, without the project going on used to affect us. We need to selling sports material in stadium. This business is not a business that we can cite at Ojoba. It's a business that always moves where there is sports complex. So we believe that when we finish this project that is going on, it's not only us, the hotel management in Ondo State, especially in Akure here, we still benefit.
As soon as they finish the renovation, more people will come to stadium and more teams will come to be participating on the pitch. So in as much people are coming to stadium, they will surely be patronized the materials they are selling around the stadium.
Party teton bó ṣe wà yẹn àwọn sunshine gbogbo àwọn ẹlòmíì gan tó kì í ṣe sunshine gan wá bíbá yìí àwa play ẹlòmíì gan wá lọ́jọ́ Sunday ẹlòmíì wá tó bá ti lè bẹ̀ látọjọ́ Monday báyìí ọjà máa yá ọjà á dẹ̀ máa move.
With the turf installation now nearing completion, there is growing optimism that this project will pave the way for broader infrastructural upgrades across the state sports sector. From the Ondo State Sports Complex, Benga Uluwajano, Osrc News.
And that concludes Sunshine Report. Thank you very much for watching. Good afternoon.